Welcome to Real Women's Stories. And as you can see, today's a little bit different from our normal episodes because I have my wonderful husband here, Adam.
Hello.
I have my lovely husband here, Adam. Now, we've actually recorded this particular episode in two parts because
We cocked up the first one.
we did not cock up
I
the
know,
first
we didn't.
one.
We were going to dinner.
We were going to dinner.
We were on a schedule.
I think what would be really interesting to understand was how do you feel about me now? Or is that a really bad question?
I'm glad you've asked that. I've been waiting to answer this for years.
Oh, how did you perceive me as a woman and a wife before I decided that I wanted to make a change to become the Real Woman coach full time? And how do you feel about me and our relationship now? And how has that affected us?
I think when you were just a normal job, or when you had like a normal 9 to 5, it was a lot more regimented, where you just knew what you were going to do every day. You get up, you do a 9 to 5, you go up to London. Now it's completely different because every day you're having contact with other people, new people. Your time scales have now completely changed, and you know you have to get certain things done by certain times. So it's a bit more stressful now, I'd say. Yeah, it's a bit more stressful. It's not easier, not at all.
See, it's so interesting. I completely disagree with you.
You're not me. You're not.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but okay. So, and I don't know, but look, I feel that I am a lot calmer in the sense of I am a better person. I show up as a better person at home and in life. I feel that I have a better relationship with the kids. I think our relationship has changed. I think we've changed as a dynamic, as a team, because before it was a lot of me. I guess you were my main priority. You were my main focus the whole time, right?
You mean I'm not now?
You are now, but obviously I have.
Thank you. That's the end of that episode.
but you are my priority and the kids are my priority, but I have other priorities which are to do with me and myself and where I'm going. And I think I threw myself, and we have worked hard on our relationship, but the time that we spend together isn't as much as we were before. I feel that's where it's changed.
Yeah. Admittedly, we might be at home together because I work from home, and a lot of times you work from home. But actually, being together can be a lot shorter because all of a sudden, you'll have to suddenly do something, or suddenly you'll remember you've got to do a download. I mean, yeah, there's a whole new vocabulary which has been introduced to me that I never paid attention to before, and that comes into my life a lot.
Okay, what sort of vocabulary?
An upload and download, intro and outro. Never really had those parts of my life before. Never really paid attention to the word TikTok before. Download speed. Your swearing has increased dramatically when your technological bits don't work properly. Microphones and stuff like that. Admittedly, I've had to learn how to be your semi-cameraman at times, so I've learned a few things, which has been quite good fun. But yeah, when things don't go right for you, you've always been a bit of a perfectionist in whatever you've done, and now this is a lot more personal for you, what you're doing. You can get a bit more angry, probably because it's more personal.
That's your vape, which I'm not very happy that you're vaping. So you've just been rumbled.
I've been rumbled with the vape.
Yeah.
But my nerves are shot to pieces now. So uneasy.
Yeah. So I think what has changed between us is that I've done a lot of traveling because I've had to sort out the house. First of all, I had 2 jobs at one point. So I was literally working round the clock. Mm-hmm. 8:30 till 5:30 was office. Mm-hmm. Before I went to work, I was working on podcasting The Real Woman Coach, and then when I got home I was working, so my time was very, very limited. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of me making the transition to do this full time was so that I could have a quality of life and I could have more balance in life. Uh-huh. And where I think I've been throwing my whole self into things, my effort with you, I think, has been in the back of my mind. But I haven't, it's not that I haven't been making as much effort with you, but I'm the one to instigate a lot of things between
100%.
us, right? And I haven't instigated those situations as much. So I feel that not the bond, but our vibe has changed. Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd see, but a lot of that is also to do with also the work dynamics. Because when you weren't, I think now you realise, not that you didn't realise, but now you realise more when you're now based from working from home rather than going up to the West End every day. Because I work from home, a lot of the times I am a no-go zone. That you will want to speak to me and have a conversation that is quite normal for husbands and wives to have at home. But a lot of the times, if I'm working, and that might be the only 25 minutes in a day which we're actually free because the other one's doing something, I might be a no, forget it, can't have this conversation, can't do it, whatever it is. So I have to cut off because of my work scenario. So sometimes that can get in the way, where, not saying you don't think that I'm going to be busy, but sometimes you might only have an hour free when you're not doing something, and that doesn't correlate to my lunch break, or even if it does and I'm busy stuck in front of the computer. So a lot of the times are the times which we have together and have the ability to be together and have bands and have a chat and have whatever, or bite to eat or lunch, it just doesn't exist. Because when I'm working, I can be very much, as you know, because of the attention I've got to pay with it, no, forget it, not interested. And so that makes things harder. So I think you being at home more now and working from more, you see that more. And I can be quite unforgiving with that because I just can't do anything about it. So it doesn't matter what you want to talk to me about, it's irrelevant because I can't have anything to do with it. You seem to have make more time if I needed to speak to you about something. So I think it's a bit more weighted on you than me.
So, in terms of my job and what I'm doing and our routine, that has had a difference.
Huge.
Do you think that is for the better?
Yeah, well, yeah, because A, it's something you want to do, but whilst you're building up something, I'm not saying you know at any one point you stop working as hard as you were at the beginning, but building something up, it takes a lot more time, so it's harder. So you know you will have less free time, less time to give in every shape and form, whilst you're trying to build something. When something's built, there's still a lot of, you know, it still takes a lot of time and whatever, but when you're building something like you are at the moment and have been for the last year or whatever it is, it takes up a lot more time, and because it's your baby, it's a lot more personal.
So, how do you think our relationship has changed?
I think what we do now, we have to make more, we have to, no, I think we acknowledge that we need our time. So that's the thing. I think, you know, everyone needs time as a couple, and they need to have their time, whatever that might be, even if it's dog walking, having a cuddle, having a meal, whatever it is. We're very conscious that we have to have that, because when we're both busy, it doesn't exist. Not because we don't want it to exist, but there is just logistically, there's just, you can't do it. If you're snowed under and you're doing your intros and your outros and or whatever you're doing, and I'm doing whatever I do, there isn't enough time. It's not, you can't blend it. It can't be blended. You know, it's not one of those things. Okay, well, let's just give ourselves 5 minutes. It's not that. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that when I was working in London anyway. So
No.
there was always, I go to work, you worked from home, I'd come in, and then we'd have date night.
Yeah.
I think that what's changed is that my weekends, because I podcast at weekends,
Yeah.
there's a lot of you hanging around for me
Yeah. True.
to, you know, finish my
I've
recordings.
kind of got used to that already, though. But there, yeah, yeah, there is a lot more where you didn't have to do anything on a weekend before. Now, a lot of the times you are podcasting, or there's people coming over to do, you know, videos or whatever. So, yes, that has changed actually a hell of a lot. But I've got used to that pretty quickly.
Do you mind it though?
I don't. I don't think it matters if I mind it or not. I've got used to it. I
Okay.
think probably found it quite annoying to begin with. Well, not quite annoying, but something. Sometimes if I might want to do something, but I know we can't. Whatever it might be, and for however long that time might be. But I get used to things pretty quickly. So
But
you
you're
know.
quite happy to have a little schluff on the sofa on a Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. So I
So
don't
what?
mind you working, and for me to use that as an excuse for sleep for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You're very lucky I'm awake right now. I mean, I'm looking
And
inside in the bed in there now, thinking, why the hell am I doing out here on the veranda?
and to be
I could have
fair,
had 2 beers and been asleep for an hour and a half.
and to be fair, that's very, very true. You do like your sleep. Whereas I think the dynamics of us, I'm very, very high energy.
And I don't like doing anything.
No, so we work well because we're our yin to our yang. Obviously, me growing the Real Woman Coach and the podcast, I think a lot of husbands would find that very. I don't know if they get in people's way, but I think women would think, oh my God, what if I was more successful than my husband? What if this success, because my plans are big and I have very, very big aspirations for myself. I'm not holding back. I know where I want to go with this, and I want to, be more on stage doing motivational speaking. We're growing the YouTube channel, we're growing the community. I want to do live stage shows. There's a lot that's going to go on now. you know how does that make you feel when you hear me say that?
Well, and doesn't make me feel anything. I do not have an inferiority complex, so I think and I can understand, I can absolutely understand that the attitude when a man should be the successful one, historically has been the bigger earner or whatever. I couldn't care at all. It doesn't bother me at all. But you being a success, nothing would make me happier.
But there were times where I think I did sit small, and I would be that person that kind of, especially during menopause. There were times where you would find me in the cupboard hiding, going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just don't want to go out and see
There were
anybody."
more times I wanted to lock you in the bloody cupboard, right, and just not let you out. Will you shut up now? Have you stopped your flushes?
But it's interesting because there's a lot of women I think who were scared because they might have a passion that they might not feel that their husband's on board with them. What would you say if someone's listening to this and there was a woman who wants to make a change? Because it's easy for me to say it because I've made the change and I've got a supportive husband, but you're a guy. What would you say to a woman who's thinking, I really want to make a change? Like, I want to change. I either want, I've been a housewife, been a mum, I've been that home carer, and now what I want to do is really go back to my roots. I've always wanted to be, I don't know, an artist or do interior design. I want to be a property developer or something that would make her stand out in that dynamic.
Okay,
What would
so
you say?
I'd say the main thing is explaining the proper reason and knowing in yourself what that proper reason is. If the real reason is, I want to become a painter, I want to become a podcaster, I want to do this, that, and the other. Why do you want to do it? Actually, the real reason is I've been unhappy for the last 10 years. That's a very, very different thing. And that means that, and I pity that person in that situation, and I wouldn't know how to coach someone out of that situation. If you've been unhappy with not the lifestyle, with how you've been, with the lifestyle you've had to lead. I'm not talking about finance. I'm talking about pressure and the role that you've lived. I think anyone that wants to make a change, if you can put it correctly into words what the change is for, it's either so we can grow together, or financially we could do better together. It will give me more of a purpose. Whatever the reason is, I think is a legitimate reason.
I think if a man saw a woman happy, does that not, to me, that would make the woman look more attractive.
For me, yes, yeah,
Right.
100%.
Okay. The woman would appear more attractive because if you see somebody who's happier in themselves, they're going to become more confident in themselves. They're going to start doing things. I think the scary thing potentially could be, well, if this person's unhappy, is it to do with our marriage or is it to do with that person?
Yeah.
I think that is why a lot of people don't make that change.
There's also a big thing. Confidence is very attractive, right? Confidence is very, very attractive in someone. And if you see a a confident person exudes more sex appeal, for lack of a better word. You don't, it's. I'm saying it's necessarily sexy, but if you have that kind of persona that you're confident to do something, and you've never had that before, you've been the man, and the woman's always been shrinking violet, and all of a sudden she finds herself and finds a new inner self, whatever the terminology is, that could quite easily make put a man feel a bit scared. Hang on, is she going to be attracted to somebody else of that other ilk? Is another person now going to be attracted to her? So men can find, because obviously men are meant to be the strong ones, but men can very quickly be or feel inferior, or feel scared, or feel weaker, or less, less of a man. And having a stronger woman than she's been before can make people, can make men, I would imagine, because it's not me, can make men feel worried.
And also, I think when two people, or when one person's going through a change, if you do find communication difficult, maybe there's a case for therapy. Maybe there's a case for the couple go into couples
100%.
therapy with it, to make
100%.
sure that there is an open line of communication to say, listen, hey, it's not about you. This is about me. It's about what I want. It doesn't matter that the scales may suddenly balance
Yeah.
in the wrong way and may tip. I just want to let you know that I love you, but I'm going to go through a transitional stage at the moment. Hopefully that person's going to find the other person attractive. And I think if one person supports the other person, like for me, I love you more every day for not allowing me, and that's probably the wrong word, for supporting me through my changes. Because if I hadn't had you there, I don't think I probably wouldn't have felt as confident walking into things, because I've called you up and I've talked to you about things, and I've said, oh, when I'm crapping myself about something, or I'm not happy with something, I've got someone who's interested in what I'm talking about. Although you might look like you're interested, you may not be interested, and you're just appeasing me. But
What?
but I know you're there with me no matter
Yeah.
what. And I
Yeah.
think that's important with if a man makes a change, or if a woman makes a change, as long as there is an open, clear line of communication. And we've also spoken about all the people that are around you. I made it very, very, very clear that I had a voice, and I told all my family. And I know that initially people thought, oh yeah, she's just going to give it a go and let's see what happens. And I get that. I get that, because you're the only one that's in control of your destiny, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I wasn't afraid that if it didn't work out, it didn't matter.
Also, as well, as a lot of people don't actually understand, not why people are doing things, but certain people don't understand what certain jobs are. Podcasting, life coaching. A lot of people 10 years ago didn't exist, and even now people are catching up with that, with what things are. So I think where a lot of people aren't necessarily non-believing or not judgmental, or whatever, they just don't understand it. What actually is this? What actually are you doing? So some of it is that. Some of it is jealousy, because I think people making a change, a lot of people would like to make a change or give something a go, but they're too scared. I think that can cause a bit of jealousy.
See, I wouldn't call that jealousy. I would call it judgment, because people judge, and judgment is about judging yourself. It's not about they're
Maybe.
jealous. It's about they love to do what you're doing, but they, as you say, they're scared to make that change, because they're scared of the repercussions of what could happen. It's very easy to sit in the same space as you're in because you're in a comfortable space. But then if you're unhappy, and I mean, look, I wasn't terribly unhappy, but I just knew that there was something out there for me more than what I was doing. And it was you that really sparked the whole thing off. It was your 50th, because I said to you, how are you feeling about turning 50?
She's lying, by the way. I'm much younger than 50. She's completely lying. As you can see, I'm barely over 40.
It was you that sparked the whole kind of, I guess, domino effect off, because we were talking about us turning 50, and you were kind of really contemplating, thinking, oh my God, I'm really worried.
You spoke about being a grandmother yesterday for the first time.
I did speak about being a grandmother for the
Never
first
heard that
time.
come out of your mouth before.
No, I know. It was only because I saw a baby and I thought it was really cute. And then I thought, well, I've got to get my hair. Yeah, but I'm the sort of person that,
A grandmother, though.
yeah, I don't want to be no, Ma.
No more. That was it.
No more. No, I don't listen. I don't. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be.
But that was funny. It was the first time you ever
Yeah,
mentioned
but I'm not ready to be a grandma. But for me, this is my whole thing.
it. Yeah.
If I talk about things before they happen, it's not such a big change or shock when it happens. And I think that's what we don't do. And that's what you and I do. We sit and we talk about our future. And I've always been a planner, and you've always said to me, you're the one that planned things. I don't think you were a planner before you were really with me. You just used to live day by day, whereas I've always been, I'm looking to the future because I want to make the most out of
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I still probably am quite like that a lot.
I've learnt more to take each day as it comes, and I think that's one of the things I've learnt from making the change and making the transition out to Spain, that I don't beat myself up if I don't do something that day. It's like, well, if I don't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll just do it when I feel like doing it when the time's right. If there's something important to do, I'll do it. And that's what that for me, how I've changed. That's what I know. You think that well, maybe your perception of me is being quite stressed out, and I think my issue is that I take a lot on because I am a perfectionist and I've got so many ideas and I'm so creative. What I'm learning now,
I think it's about, but a lot of time you just got to take a break, slow down a bit.
yeah. Well, I have this holiday. I mean, I know I've had to because I'm physically haven't been well, and we all know that. And I did hit a bit of burnout, and I
So
have
there we go. So that's the same thing saying you've got to. So it's all very
right,
well saying you've done it, but you have to do it.
yeah. Well, I am, and I have got plans. My plans now have moved to next year, not this year.
Yeah.
And if they don't happen next year, they won't happen next year. They're ideas, they're things that can happen. But I'm not taking on too much anymore. Change is something that I think is just fearful for everybody because they are scared of how everybody around them is going to react, and because you don't know what is tomorrow. But if you start making up stories about tomorrow, they're not true because it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened. And one of the biggest things I think that we did this year was when we walked into this house, we both went, let's do it. And there was not one question for me. I just went, it's going to happen.
Well, we had to see the butterfly.
We saw the butterfly. We saw the butterfly. So my coach said to me, this was before, I think I said to her, how am I going to know if this house is right? And she said, well, ask the universe for a sign. And I know that the word woo-woo, but I'm not particularly, I'm spiritual and I'm very in touch with my intuition. And I know that my grandparents are in me, and I live by their morals and their values. And I thought, well, what sign can I ask for in the garden? And I asked for a butterfly. And we hadn't seen butterflies at all. I think, was it in March?
Yeah, it was February. No, no. It was
Oh, no, it was January. It was January.
And the next scene, it was like that we've seen in Avatar when I'm standing there with the 300 butterflies. No, we saw a couple and I was like,
no. There was one butterfly that
and
just
she was like,
flew
right.
past.
So that butterfly has put me in debt.
Listen,
it was a nice sign, and like even with the apartment, when we chose the apartment, I saw that for the first time. I was like, this is just a yes, and then we came here because it was a bit bigger than what we actually necessarily thought, a bit more money than we might have thought about spending or having to spend, but as soon as we walked around it, it was, because we have the same taste in things, we knew what this will end up being like. And listen, it's beautiful now, but we know we have the same vision for things.
this is not without its stresses,
Oh,
right?
good God!
It's
My
not
God.
without its. We sit here talking very, very openly about our relationship and everything we have done in our lives, and life has been tough for us. We haven't been we haven't been dealt a hand of cards that's just been easy.
No.
Everything we've had to fight for in terms of our love for each other, our relationship, when we were growing up, the jobs we've had, the lives we've lived, the kids, the situations. But I think what we've got out of life is fun.
Yeah.
And we've made sure that we've always, I think we're quite, well, I am, very positive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to pull you up a little bit and say,
Yeah, for sure.
come on, like today's a good day.
Mm.
You know, life is good. Look at what we have around us, because I think you can get a little bit down
Yeah, I
in
do.
things. If things don't go right some days, you think the world's coming to an end, and it's not. Yeah, so you know, life is tough. And also, when I first moved in here, you know, I've been here for 4 weeks now, and it was damn stressful.
Well, you had the cockroaches to keep you company.
Yeah,
What are
we
you
had a
worried about?
cockroach
It's not like
infestation.
I left you alone.
The air conditioning wasn't working, the furniture wasn't being delivered. I mean, obviously first world problems. However, I was on my own dealing with it. I drove over here. You know, I had the dog. There's a lot to deal with, and you know, I spoke about it in the previous episode about every day I've been doing something different. I'm trying something new. I'm doing something different, and you know that just grows you as a person. So if you are going to be thinking about navigating change, you know, communication is key. Knowing, you know, or speaking to everybody around you to make sure they fully understand where you're coming from and what you want, what your drivers are, the reasons why you want to make the change is because you want to be a happier person. And just talking about potentially what are the barriers, what are the challenges we're going to face. You know, it's all about talking, communication, and getting people to understand. They may not like what you're doing at the moment, but once they see you're happy, would you rather see me happy?
Yeah, cool.
Right, exactly. So if I'm happy making a change, that makes you happy. And if we've got struggles, we work through the struggles together. Right. I'm actually gonna do some intros and outros in case Aaron wants them, so you can
Intros and
depart. There you
outros.
go. So you
I
can go
know.
away. You
Okay.
can go away now.
I'm still filming.
No, you don't need to be in. Well, I can talk, but I'm going to talk to the camera.
Are you
On
filming
my,
now?
yeah,
Well, give me a kiss.
you can take the mic off.
You might want to hear me sing.
Oh, you've got lipstick on your mouth now.
Is it my colour?
Not really, because it's on half the side of your
Well,
face.
I don't like catching. Bye bye.
We are right in the middle of our summer season, and we've got some great episodes coming up for you. There will be one episode per week because I'm going to be taking some well-earned rest for the next couple of weeks to spend time with my husband, with my family, having some fun in the sun. And we will still be delivering you real women's stories, but it might just be a little bit of a different format over the next coming weeks. So I just wanted to wish you all an absolutely amazing summer. Survive with the kids, because I know it can be hard, but I'm right here with you. And if anybody would love to get in touch with me, I'm still an email. It's the real stories podcast at gmail.com. That's the real stories podcast at gmail.com. Or if you're looking for some coaching, my calendar is opening for August, the end of August and September. You can email me. It's lisa@realwoman.coach. That's lisa@realwoman.coach. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for being the most incredible community. We will see you next time for Real Women Stories.